You have a Bible? There's one in front of you if you don't have one. We're going to look at Isaiah chapter 9. Isaiah chapter 9, and just 2 verses. Can you believe that? 2 big verses, though. And there is a lot of doom and gloom in Isaiah, but every once in a while you get a bright lightning flash of hope for the future for Israel. And this is one of those passages that describes the hope that's out there for the people of God, even though troubled times are about to happen to them. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there shall be no end, on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. Sometimes when we think about Christmas, we think of it like peanuts. Okay? This is a holiday that's for the kids. It's a celebration that's for children. And we want our children to be happy. We want them to have a good time on Sunday morning before they gorge themselves on candy and pass out from sugar comatose or something like that. We want them to have a good time, right? And we want it to be happy, we want it to be special, and we try to do things that are oriented toward them. And in the midst of making Christmas for the kids, sometimes we forget that it's actually the celebration of something that's very adult. And we need the adult message about Christmas desperately. How many of you watched the Queen's funeral? And one of the ways they talked about her was they gave what could be called her throne names, her titles, okay? And they're real grandiose, okay? They're big, okay? Big titles. And in the ancient world of Isaiah's day, they did that with kings also. They gave them what they called throne names. And these names were of great praise to the king or the queen that was coming, and also praise to God for what he was going to do through the king. And so we get these names, these throne names, for this child who's going to be born, the child who's going to be given, who's going to fix everything. And those names are given to us in verse 6. Do you remember what they are? Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. So this is a prophecy about a king who's going to be born. A king that's going to straighten things out. And even though there was going to be terrible trouble, there was still hope. A lot like we have to think about the second coming of Christ in our day. I mean, is the world full of trouble, or is the world full of trouble? Anybody in here doesn't feel like the world's full of trouble? It's full of it. But in Isaiah's day, that coming trouble was offset by the fact that in the future, a great king was coming and the government would be on his shoulders, a lot like we will say to each other, as bad as it gets, all hope is not lost. Jesus is coming. And I hope that as you face the trials and troubles that are evident around us all the time, as you hold your sweet baby, okay, and think about the years to come and the troubles that your sweet baby may face in this world, that we don't give up hope any more than Isaiah did, because the king is coming. And the government will be on his shoulders.